everybody, it's Christine, and this video is the Scraplift Crafternoon video, and it's because it's 30 days of sketches, you guys. I've got 30 days of sketches every day, so this is my second video today. And let me show you the Scraplift here. Miss Kristen found it. It's Julie9699 on Instagram, and it's a 49 in Market. I don't know if it's a design team. I'm going to say, oh, yep, it is. Julie Taylor design team. And she's got this neat, she's got a white cardstock background. I think I'll do that. And then she's kind of got torn papers with two horizontal photos. The title's kind of in there. You know, there's kind of layered little goodies in there. And what I have, unfortunately, I don't have two horizontals. I have one horizontal and one vertical. You guys, look at this picture. So my husband and my daughter, I'm going to double check my year here. I think this was 2020. It might have been 2021. I'll double check my picture. But they go on these hiking trips. I've mentioned this before. And I guess they were driving and they're going along the road. And look at that. That's a little boar. Wild pig. And so I figured, why not? They're in a car. They're on the road because I got my 49 in Market Wherever collection. So I have not really pulled this out much. And I'm not going to do it right this moment. Except to say, oops, sorry about that. I need to pull this out. There's lots of little baubles and rub-ons and things like that. So she's used some rub-ons and things. So I think that's going to be cool. And there's, you know, great. Oh, that's neat. I just saw the railroad track deal. That's kind of cool. This is the laser pieces, laser cut elements. And there's plenty of goodies here, you guys. Plenty of goodies. And then, of course, I have the chipboard. This is the collection kit I got. Here's the rub-ons. I'm excited because, look, I can use some of these like she's used. And then, of course, I have all these papers to choose from. So I'll go through these and figure out what I want to use here. Oh, this is just beautiful. Y'all, I love 49 in Market. So I'll go through these. I'm not going to do it right this second, but I'll go through these to find something that kind of goes with my pictures. And lets me kind of do the tear thingy, you know, do that thingy. I got to figure out a title too. Oh, why not Scenic route? That'll be perfect. We'll just do that. New adventure. Oh, I just love this collection. So anyway, that's what I'm going to be doing. Now, again, I'm going to have, I think I'll put the horizontal at the top and I'll put the vertical one down below and that'll be fine. It'll be just fine. All right, let me get to figuring out which papers I'm going to use and I'll be back on in a minute. Well, you guys, I can't decide if I need to apologize or not because this is kind of a long video, but there's a lot of little processes in here and I was trying to figure out where I could cut and I would have taken away some opportunity to see how I did some things. So I'm just going to have to keep going. I'm just going to go with it. So the first thing I did is I decided to use this piece of paper here because it had that kind of, there was multicolors and it's kind of got this cool texture look. And the backside was the words. Now she had a little stripe on hers, but I thought, you know, this will work nicely. And I cut it into 4 strips of 3 inches because this way I only had to use 1 piece of paper, you guys. So I still have my nice big pile of pretty papers. So I'm going to come along here and I'm going to I'm going to tear these similar to hers. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and tell you like it's exact. I just kind of cut, you know, or I keep saying cut, I mean tear. Tear, you know, like little organic, you know, hill looking things. Now what I'm also going to do, I will cut away in just a moment because I don't make you watch me do all of it. But I will use a little bit of water and I'm going to spray it on the edges so that when I roll it up and stuff, it'll actually end up staying that way after the fact. So I use it to kind of roll up. And again, I'm not going to sit here and tell you I did it 100% the way she did it, but I kind of did. I use it to kind of roll it up. Now on the top piece up there, she only really had 1 piece, I think, as I recall. But she had like a little stripe on the top. She had a different pattern on the top. But I had a branding strip off this piece of paper. And I thought, you know what? That's the perfect way to use this little branding strip. So I've got those 2 pieces of paper kind of figured out, and I've got my photos. I'm trimming down this bottom one here just a little bit. It was a tad too tall. I wanted to put it on the bottom, you know, I needed to have there's a little doily that's showing, a little doily on her layout that I wanted to use, and it was a little bit too tall for me to really see the doily, which I'm not going to say and tell you to see a lot of the doily when I get done, but so I kind of trimmed off the bottom, plus it was just the car dashboard. So I'm kind of revisiting my curls here, making sure they're right. And I know I want to put my rub-ons on here. So I think I actually glued this little piece of paper onto my top piece there. Now you guys, I'm going to do my rub-ons and stuff, and I'm going to screw it up in a minute. But you'll see that in just a minute. I've told you guys before, I'm the clumsiest scrapbooker on the planet, and I leave all my boo-boos in here so you can see what not to do. So this is kind of where they're going to go, right? So in a minute, I'm going to get a pen. I'm going to figure out which rub-ons I want. And I want ones, hers were very light colored, I will tell you. She had kind of a very, like a very subtle rub-on, and I ended up with little brighter colors just because that's what's with this collection. But I'm not even sad about it. I think it looks great. The one on the bottom is going to end up being like a map, and the ones on the top are kind of more ticket-looking ones when I pick them. So the one on the bottom is the bigger one. I will use my scissors. I thought about leaving it on there at first, and then I got scared because knowing me, I would have touched my paper with my rub-on and ruined the darn thing. So I do end up using my scissors to cut it out before I rub it on. But first, I'm going to use this little brown pen. I just kind of mark up underneath. I don't want the curl, to show it, but it gets kind of up underneath where the papers are to kind of give me a sense of where my rub-ons need to go. And then I'm going to cut this out in just a second. Like this is me kind of thinking to myself, do you just peel this back? No, Christine, you better not do that. You're going to mess it up. So I'm cutting out my little piece here that looks like a map. And I'm going to put that on the bottom part. And that goes pretty well. I don't mess that up. And then the top one will go pretty well too. I don't know if I should have left all this in, but I do kind of want you to see what I do. Their rub-ons are just wonderful, by the way. I mean, if you don't have 49 to Market, I will tell you their rub-ons, the quality is just phenomenal. And I really enjoy these mixed media looking prints. They have like a print in them, but they go down like, I don't know how you would do that. I guess you could do it with some kind of adhesive or something if you're going to do it, in real life or whatever, but these rub-ons are perfect. I did get off into my stash for the little viewfinder thing that she kind of had on hers. I'll get that. I actually bought those on eBay. I think I told this in one other video. I thought I was buying the die, and it was like $5 or whatever. And I thought, oh, that's a good deal. So I got it. No, I just got like 4 or 5 of them. I think I got like 5 of them already cut. That being said, I mean, it's not like I can't use them, but I was like, oh gosh, next time read the description a little bit better, because I'm certain it said, I just didn't read it close enough, so shame on me. But I'll pull that out of my stash and try to see what else I got on this layout here that I pull out of my stash. I'll pull out a twine, and I'll go get some distress inks, by the way. I didn't initially think I might, or maybe I thought I might. I'm trying to remember when I decided to do it. I ended up pulling out distress inks to sprinkle on the paper because I did have the rub-ons down, but in looking at it, I thought you need a little something, something. So I'm going to run off and get, I think it's, oh shoot, you guys. I can't remember if it's pumice stone or old paper. It might be old paper. You might be able to see the cover of the ink when I end up pulling it out. At this moment, I put those 2 darker colored rub-ons up there, but I kind of decided I needed one more. I needed another little light colored one. And so this is like a little like distance thing from a map. And so that's going to go up there. And I think that looks really good. But in a second, I'm going to also realize I need a little something extra. It's not enough with just these rub-ons. I need a little something extra. But I don't remember when I do that. I think I might actually pick out my backing for my photos first. I'm going to end up actually getting into a different 49 and Market collection. It's that one there, and I'm so sorry I don't remember the name off the top of my head. If you really need to know, I will find it for you. Just comment. But it's a collection. It's a little bit paler colors, but it had a blue and a green that went pretty well with this collection on one of the packaging pieces. So, well, no, maybe I do pull this ink out first. You can kind of see the ink right there. I'm going to end up using it to sprinkle on my paper here. I think I'm just sizing everything up right here. I'm going to get my cutter out of the way in just a minute. I say that. Now I've did this, and I don't remember what order I did things in. I know I'm going to sprinkle that ink in just a moment. And I also pull out some other ink because I do have that doily. You can see it behind the photo on the bottom, but it's white. And hers was a color. Hers was actually, I think, a grayish blue maybe. I'm going to decide to color mine. I'll try first with Forest Moss. But you'll see that in just a minute. I won't say that much yet. So here's me taking this. Like I said, I think it's old paper, actually. And I'm going to sprinkle this around the paper. And I like this a lot. I think it's a nice kind of neutral color. A little bit on the lighter side, which is good. It's a little subtle. And I'll sprinkle that all around. I'll clean my mess up here. And then, I'm so sorry, you guys. I don't remember what order I do this stuff in. I know that I've got to get my pieces back down. I think this is where I screw up, though. So I take my tape gun. Look at me. I've got my top piece and I'm putting it on the bottom, you guys. That is not where that goes. And I'll put it down and then I'll realize what I've done. And I get upset. Luckily, I mean, it tears when I pull it up. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. It tears, but it's underneath where the other paper is going to go. So it's not a huge deal, but I was annoyed with myself. I was using dirty words. No, I didn't really, but I was shaking my head going, why did you do that? So you can see I tore that paper up just there, but this right here is going to go right back on top of it. So it's okay. Because I just couldn't believe I did that. I was like, that is, Christine, you don't pay attention to nothing. So I got my bottom down. I'm going to put my top down now. I got to tear those extra pieces of paper off that I messed up there. You know what, though? This is a grungy, textury little layout. So even if it had shown, I guess it would have been okay. I could have made it work. So you can see the top piece up there. This might be where I grabbed my twine, actually. Yep, here's where I ran off. I got my twine. She had some kind of little twine on there, but she actually put, I think, a little button or something. I don't actually do that. I just tied a little knot. I kind of like it that way. And it takes me just a second to kind of glue this stuff down. And then I think I get my photos out. That's what I do next. And I'll get my, or no, I do my doily. So, okay, I use this forest moss, and I start to just kind of tap the ink pad on it. And I go, well, that's not working. So I thought, okay, well, I'll just add some water and kind of drag my doily through it. This technique worked, but the color was way too kind of greeny, yellowy, kind of, it just wasn't the right shade. And I go, oh, that's not good. It's a little too greeny, yellowy. So what I'll end up doing is run over getting, I think it's Vintage Photo in just a minute. And look at that. That doily is just wet, you guys. So I don't have it on camera, but I'm going to end up pulling out my heat tool for this thing too. So see, I dry it and I think, okay, is this going to work? And no, see, it's very like, again, kind of a yellow green. And I think, no, that's not going to work. So I ran off and I get my Vintage Photo and I'm going to just basically add that to kind of brown this up. And that actually does work. I like this a lot. It kind of goes with a little rub-on that's on the top level there that's kind of like mustard. It's not quite mustard. It's more like a antique yellow or something. It's an old ticket. And I think it kind of goes with that okay. So that's not too bad. So I'm going to cut away because I do have to go use my heat gun and dry that before I can tuck it in on the layout there. So now you can kind of see that. And now I'm going to mess with my photos that I've got the little colored cards. I'm going to add the blue one on the bottom, and then I'm actually going to have a green one on top, and then I'll realize I still have extra of my blue, and I'll add that as well. There was this little piece here in the back of the packaging. So I cut out the packaging in this collection. There was little pieces. They always have like little things you can cut on the back of the packaging. And it had that little like brownish tickety looking thing. I don't know what that is. It's got like a calendar and stuff on it, or like dates or something. And so I cut that out. There's also a green little ticket that I cut out, but I don't think I've got that out there yet. This is now where I'm going to start kind of building stuff. I don't know what I've got going on. I can't see it underneath. It's the very exact spot where the editing thing is. I know I'm messing with this cluster down here. I really loved how she just kind of had all kinds of goodies. I mean, you almost just couldn't go wrong. I'm not going to sit here and tell you I recreated her clusters exactly. I do try to do, you know, kind of an homage to it. Like on this right-hand side, oh, that's a ticket that says like New View. And I kind of turn that up and I almost put string through it, but I decided against it. And I've got that there. I'll find, there's like a little steering wheel. I put it at the top first and I'll pull it down. Let me see. Do I have that yet? I think I'm getting into the laser cuts, you guys. So my apologies. You can't see that because I'm off camera. But the laser cuts are right to the side over there. I'll find a steering wheel eventually. There's going to be a little word that says, let's go. See, there I am kind of digging through it. There's some little flowers I cut out of the packaging. Here's where I got my little photo layers here. And this is just kind of messy photo layers. You know, it's not perfectly framed. I did mat the photos. I don't think I mentioned this, though. I did mat them on white cardstock to give them a nice little border. I think I'm going to get into, there's like a little stop sign that I cut out of the packaging. I tried this little piece here. That's side against that, actually. Let's see. That might be the green little ticket thing there that I just stuck in there. I think I'm digging around in my stuff again, you guys. Oh, this little piece here says on the road again. This was in the laser cuts. I like this a lot. I put this where the little boar, you know, he's walking across the road. So he's on the road again. This is the steering wheel. I start up there and I go, no, you're going to be better down on the bottom. She had like a little heart and stuff. So I move it down there. I like that steering wheel. It's kind of neat. It's kind of antique-y looking. In this collection, there was like some antique cars and stuff. You can see on the left-hand side of my paper right there, there's actually a little punch-out car. It's a little car, a little green car. I don't use the green one, but I will pull out a couple of the other colors, and I'll use them. I'll end up using 3 of those. I actually add a couple of cars. She did not have it on her layout, anything where I end up putting them, but I think they look cute, so I'm not going to be sad about it. This right here says, I don't know what it says. I don't guess I use that tag. There's a bunch of little tags. I'll use that postage stamp looking thing on the right-hand side of that photo up there. I have that little stop sign. I did cut that out of the packaging. I think there's actually one in the laser cuts, but I cut that one. And then I'm leaving all this in here, you guys, because I had a subby say not too long ago, they really like watching me like put the embellishments and stuff down, because I guess it helps them see kind of how to build clusters and stuff. And also have, you know, just different decisions and things like that. Like that do not enter was just too big. That wasn't going to work. I keep pulling this, I keep pulling that thing out, and I'm not going to use it. I pull another little ticket here. It says far away. And I like that a lot too, because they are far away. They're in Arizona, I believe. Yeah, Arizona. And let's see what I got here. Oh, this is the floral. So she had like a little floral leaves or something like that. And so I pull this little kind of brown leafed one out. There's a couple of flowers I've cut out too that I'll stick in here in just a second. But first I got my postage stamp. I still have to find one more phrase that's going to go up there on the top. She had a little phrase up there. I find it'll say best trip ever. That little car kind of goes there. It actually ends up more onto the photo, but it's in that same general area. And that's a flower there. I'm going to stick that with the florals on top of the little thing there. She had a couple little like daisies or something, so I'm kind of recreating that piece, or just the feeling of it. And again, I'm just kind of picking through these ephemeras. I guess I'll tell you real quickly, they rented a car, by the way. So when they go do these trips, they have to drive quite a bit, because if you can imagine national parks and stuff, they're not right next to the hotel. You know, you're not usually, that's not usually the case. So they'll rent a car with unlimited mileage, and me and my husband says they just drive the heck out of it. There was one trip they went to, not this one, but I think maybe the next year, I'm not sure. They went into, I think it was Montana, and they had to drive down to like the bottom half of Montana. It was like a 7-hour drive or something. I'm listening to them tell these stories, and I'm not going to lie. They take these pictures. There's some really cool sights and scenes and all that, but I'm just not a road trip kind of girl, you guys. Sitting in a car lot just makes me tired. I say that, and we drove down to Big Bend a couple years ago, 4 or 5 years ago. That was a 9-hour drive, and we did that in one day. I don't know. I guess it's all right if you got good sights and sounds and all that. So I've got all my clusters glued down and everything. I did a few little pieces on foam, but I used my Nuvo glue mostly. But I had noticed on her layout, she had kind of like, I want to say lace or something. It looked like it was tucked up underneath. I don't know if she used this same kind of thing. This is actually laser cuts from one of the other 49 Market collections, but it does look like lace. So I'm going to tuck it up underneath the bottom down here and a little bit on the top. So again, I don't know if she used actual lace or if she used paper lace, but I had it and I thought, you know what, this looks great. So I'm going to use some Nuvo glue up underneath there. Now I will tell you, I struggled to get this bottom one to kind of stay on top of the lace. I have to kind of push it down and hold it down. It was acting a little bit, you know, when you use water and you curl it up, it definitely wants to stay curled up, which is good, except when you want to lay flat. So I'm messing with this for just a second. And then I'm going to put the other lace on the top up there. I don't have to fuss with it quite as much. It just kind of goes up underneath there, no problem. I think after this, the only thing I do, and I don't think I do it on camera actually, is I pull out my roller date stamp, and I actually stamped it on a piece of scrap cardstock first, because I was kind of worried about where I wanted to put it. So I put it on a piece of scrap cardstock, and then I kind of trimmed it to kind of figure out where I might want it. And then I said, Christine, you got a date. That tag on the top cluster up there has a spot that says date. So oh, I'm so sorry. First, I actually put some of these little baubles on here. I can't tell you that she had those on hers. I did not notice them on hers, but I thought, you know what, I've got them. And so I pull one out that says road trip. That's going to go on the top. And then I pull one out that says sightseeing. And then I'll pull one out that says tour time. And I'm going to end up basically putting those a little bit of a triangle. Tour time on the left side of the bottom photo over there, I accidentally laid it down a little bit, rotated a little too much rotated, and then it wanted to fight me over rotating. I was mad at it. I was like, look at this, you're not wanting to come up. And I usually can pick it right up, but nope, today it wanted to stick. So I have to mess with that just a moment. Again, I probably should have taken some of this stuff out, but I hated for you to not see how I got stuff put down there. But after that, that's all I'm going to do. I do the date stamp, like I said, so you'll see that in the picture here. It's in the upper right, but I didn't make you watch that. So here's the slowdown, you guys. I think this is just beautiful. I love this layout. I love this kind of cool, layered, lots of goodies, you know, all the good going on here. I think it's beautiful. So make sure you check out the playlist. I'm kind of curious to see what everybody else does. And of course, the original, she's quite talented or she wouldn't be on the design team, right? So make sure you check that out. We'll have a link. And you guys have a wonderful day. I got 30 days of sketches going on, so there'll be another video up tomorrow. Bye.